Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 96 of our Enigmatica 6 Let's Play series, where today we are going to continue on with our blood magic adventure exploration learning process. So, in our book, our next step after we got our slates, this is telling us we could use pipes. You know what? That makes sense. We could use pipes the same way that we used these for the upstairs, what's that called again? Power automation. We could use these pipes to do so, which, yeah, cool. We have that ability, if needed, to expedite. I can't see how much is in there at the same time as me stabbing myself. That's why I was looking down. But it looks to be full. Cool. All right, so that's set up. Cool. Ready for whatever our next steps are. So we got blank slates. The incense altar, I don't know if we're going to want. Our next step would be to start working towards getting a Mark II. We also need to work on getting arcane ashes and Tartaric gems and all that stuff so we can start working on rituals, which requires us to get demon will. In order to get demon will, we have to throw the soul snares at them, which is just some string inside of here, so we can get that set up. We can pipe some string into here. And how much does this cost? 500 LP. Okay. I also need a blank hand. We just throw these at mobs and we get will from them. And then eventually we can make that easier by getting a sword that gets the will for us instead of having to throw these things at them. So let's just get a couple of them. Hopefully we get lucky. Because it's not a guaranteed chance you're going to get will also. So how much does the quest want us to get? The target snared, the will be distracted. It can be helpful to gather a few pieces of will in this way. Better methods will soon present themselves. The Sentient Sword is what we're going to use. So let's just get like 10 of these, I say. Just so that we have them. And then we will go and find some mobs, snare them up, and then kill them. And we should be okay. I don't think it matters what mob, so we can pop over to the end and snare up some Endermen maybe. We'll see if that works, because we know there's a ton over there and we don't have to bank on them being around. Last one. Cool. All right, so let's just go upstairs. Nope. You go there. Nope. There. And then let's go to the end portal. And let's snare up some Endermen. Does this work on you? Can I absorb your soul? It probably would if he didn't teleport immediately when I did this. All right, unfortunate. That did not work. Let's go. What time of day is it? Is it nighttime? It is nighttime. Okay, so let's snare up some mobs. Let's go over here. Don't necessarily want any creepers, but you die. And then you give me some particle effects. There we go. Give me your will. We're getting demon will. Sweet. Then you. And then you. Oh, I missed. You know what? Just die. Making me miss twice. All right, cool. So we got a few. Not anything crazy, but we got a few. We also got a bunch of heads. Beheading on this thing is ridiculous. Okay, so we got some demon will, which gives us some more demon will. Plus a random grab bag. So let's see what we got. We got quite a few of these. What's our best one? 4, 3, 2, 1.7, and then you are 5, so you can go there. All right. So then from there, we are going to want to work on creating a Hellfire Forge. The lumpy crystallized mess is a little less useful than one might have hoped. Perhaps with a little refinement, it can be used to imbue other objects with its power. Build a Hellfire Forge and place the demonic will in the right-hand slot. It's doing the double click thing for this recipe for some reason. So let's go to Hellfire Forge and bookmark that, which is pretty easy. We have our slates down in our room here, which are here. Also, by the way, I was trying to figure out like what our best way of getting this set up is in the future, because it's going to be much bigger, and we'll worry about that when the time comes, because it was frying my brain trying to figure it out, to be honest with you. So Hellfire Forge, we can just pop this guy right over in the corner, and we can put a will in the right hand side, it says. Many recipes will require a high amount of will in the Hellforge, while only draining a small amount of that for the craft. If the craft doesn't begin immediately, check to be sure the minimum is correct. Okay, so the Hellfire Forge is used to craft arcane ashes. Okay. No, it's not. The alchemy table is used for this, so we need to make an alchemy table. You lied to me, my friend. That is this section. And we need an alchemy table as well, which shouldn't be too hard to make either. So alchemy table, if you can go there, that would be swell. And you are going to require our blood orb to be in here. We got all that stuff. With the tools available at a proper alchemy table, the soul network may be used to drive more complicated transmutations, from transmuting rotten flesh to proper leather, to processing ore down into higher yields than is possible in a traditional furnace. A blood orb must be placed on the rightmost slot, and then the outer slots are where you put your reagents. When seeking to automate it, consider using some limiting pipe similar to earlier blank slates, yada yada. So arcane ashes is our next step, which is going to be all of this stuff. Does that require a tier 2? No. Okay. So if we do this, it should pull all the stuff to our inventory. I don't know why Astral Sorcery didn't do that. Ooh, primitive explosive cell. I don't know what that does, and I'm afraid to find out. So I'm just gonna, put it away and not deal with it. And so we put all that in there, and we see this is gonna start filling up. And then in the middle, we will end up with our arcane ashes. Shabam. So we got arcane ashes, and this is used to do alchemy circles you can draw on the ground, and do alchemy stuff, and that's going to give us a sigil of the blood lamp. Oh, that's cool. We just got a sigil of the blood lamp. Sigil of the blood lamp is really cool. It places light sources just out in the world. How do you get rid of it? And you just break it and it's gone. And it has I can send that all the way over here. Bam. And we're going to see the light source showed up. Pretty cool. And it uses your LP in your soul network to do so. And eventually we will be able to see what is in our soul network. Continuing. How did I end up here? Blood magic. Petty Tartaric Gem. That is our next spot. Demonic will is not some dumb substance to be manipulated like water in a bucket. It is the animating force that enables the undead to move, the extension of some demonic force long locked away. The barriers between worlds are not perfect, however, and some of their immense power leaks through. The Tartaric Gems are a relatively safe way to coalesce this will, so you can basically take your demonic wills and bind them into a Tartaric Gem, which is what we are going to work towards getting now. So let's bring all this stuff into my inventory, and this is in the Hellfire Forge. And if we put all of this stuff in here, it'll start crafting and give us a Petty Tartaric Gem. Now, if we... I know there's a way to put these into this. How do we do that? Do we just pick it back up? Yes. Okay, so we can drop all of these out. It's basically storage for your will. And there you go. Pretty nifty. I do say so. And then a sentient tool. This is our next step. The sentient sword, infused with demonic will, is as much alive as the one who wields it. It hungers for more power and seeks out its own, drawing demonic will from slain enemies without the need for a soul snare. As the amount of will held in a Tartaric Gem increases, so too does the power of the tool. So basically, you make yourself a Sentient Sword. It's going to use a petty Tartaric Gem, which now makes me think I should have saved one of those soul gems. I'm going to have to make another soul snare and go get another demonic will, aren't I? Because I need to make another Tartaric. Oh, wait, no. Okay. It's just saying that it requires this as the reagent, which this is in here anyway. This doesn't have enough will, but this does. There we go. Bam. And then we can do that, and that made another one. And then from there, we can make the Sentient Sword in the Hellfire Forge, which is just a iron sword. Let's see if we can use this one. You, and you, and you. And yes, it does work. So now we have a Sentient Sword, and as you can see, it only does 1 damage. It's not the strongest in the world, though if I remember correctly, it is enchantable. So if we go to Old Home, night is coming, yes. But if we pop down here, and we put this into our Enchantalooper, it should get enchanted. Vigilante, knockback. We're looking for like sharpness and maybe like unbreaking. Ideally, magic edge and unbreaking. Okay, let's keep unbreaking on there. It won't. Oh, I forgot. This won't applicate if there's already enchants on it. Honestly, I should just go and get. I have sharpness. Sharpness 6, leech 5. Let's get unbreaking. We have unbreaking 5, which we just got. Bam. And it has sharpness 6. Okay, so now we can run around the world. Even though this is only doing 1 damage, we can kill some mobs, which it's daytime, so that's not going to help us. How are we doing on our mutton and stuff, by the way? Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to set up a thing for mutton. What about beef? What about wool? 25,000 wool. I do not have a thing set up for wool, so yeah, that's going to be an issue. I'd go and slay some Endermen, but this only does 5 damage, so let's try and find some mobs down here. I could turn on our duplicator. And then remember, I can't. Do I have to get the final blow? Am I getting will? 17.92. $16.62. Okay, my will is going down. And my sword is... And now it went up again. It looks like it's working. I mean, my gem is like slowly going up. So let's just keep doing this until if I could turn off my pedestal, I would. But we're slowly filling this gem up. And our sword is slowly doing more damage too. So see, now it's doing 11 damage. Okay, so we are sitting at 32 will. That's not that bad. We are going to need to upgrade this from a petty to a, I think it's a lesser and then a greater, and then as we go it levels up even more, but I don't know how much will it's going to take, so it's probably best to just get as much in here as we can, and then we can easily, you know, if we end up with extra, that's fine, because it'll transfer to the new gem. And luckily we've got good armor. How much damage is it doing now? 11. This is a great mob farm, though. I have to say, I think the way that we set this up is pretty darn good. Outside of the experience being dropped from these guys, because I just never really set up a magnet, or like the EXP magnet is like maxed out on its storage. But outside of that, I think we set this up pretty decently. How close are we to full here? 58.17. Probably holds 60 then, I'm going to assume, since the progress indicator is almost full. We went down on will. All right, cool. I'm going to say we're good enough. Let's turn this off. Let that finish. Get all this experience so that it's not clogging up our inventory here, and head back to our base and continue working with blood magic here. Straight ahead. Okay, so our next steps is to, oh look, it gave us a sentient pickaxe. Uses demon will to unleash its full potential. Sweet. So we have a sentient sword, and we got a couple enchanted books too from that. Not bad. Demon Crucible, out of the frying pan into the fire. Though keeping demonic will locked up is advised, an experienced sanguimancer may choose to release some into the environment in order to refine it further. Placing a Tartaric Gem into a Demon Crucible will release the will, binding it to the local chunk. The amount of will present may be seen with the aid of a demon will or a gauge. Excess will may be absorbed into a Tartaric Gem again by placing a Hellfire Forge in the chunk and inserting the Tartaric Gem. I actually don't know what this does. I've never seen this. This might be new. Demon Crystallizer. Once released into the atmosphere, demonic will may be coaxed to a nucleation site where it will begin to crystallize and grow. A demon crystallizer acts as one such site. Demon will crystals will progress through multiple stages of growth, each denoted by a new spire forming out of the base. The first spire should never be broken off. This initial regrowth is costly, but greatly reduces the will required to grow additional spires. Some care must be taken when harvesting crystals. A pickaxe is exactly the wrong tool. Instead, hold the Tartaric Gem in your inventory and right-click the grown crystals. There exists a specialized dusk ritual that would assist. So you can grow demon will, essentially, is what I'm getting from this. So instead of having to go farm it, you can grow it. All right. We'll set this up. We'll set this up. So it does say that you want it to be in a separate chunk. So we're going to put that over here so that it doesn't get reabsorbed. So we'll put it in this corner. But let's get a demon crucible, which just needs us to get a cauldron. Let's check this out. I've never seen anybody actually use this before. Really? Task complete cauldron? The stone went into my dink. So let's do this. And where were you made at? In the forge. And that is all of this. Correct? Stone, diamond, lapis, cauldron. Highly possible. I don't have enough will to be able to do this. This doesn't say how much it needs, but it looks like it's requiring more than what we have because it will not start crafting. Okay. So we need to work on upgrading our gem to the next tier, which is the lesser Tartaric Gem. So let's go ahead and... How's this going to work? It says we need a petty, but we also need this in there. Let's see. Let's see what happens. We'll just see what happens. All right. Lesser Tartaric Gem. Give me that, that, and that. If I put this in here, and we put this here, Will it use it? Yes. Look, it uses it from that slot. It is smart enough to be able to do that. So now we have a lesser, and that used 20 of our will. And then this can be upgraded to a greater somewhere. A common, which requires imbued slates, which is tier 2. So we're not quite there yet. But we have a lesser Tartaric Gem now. And we just need to go get some more will in our guy in order to do this. But we will do that later. So that stops us from moving in this direction. But we can start working on, I mean, basically at this point, it looks like tier 2 is where we are at. So we need to work on getting 6 blank runes. Blank runes. And those are made from just this and our blood orb. Where is our blood orb? That's a good question. Our blood orb's over here. And we just need 6 of these, yes? Okay. Give me my orb back, please. And then it gives us 2 speed runes. Okay. So then we just need to look inside of our book. It probably wants me to pick up. No, that's tier 3. Okay. Let's go ahead and find our book and look at what a tier. Look, I was trying to see how big a tier 5 was going to be, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks high. 5 technically, because the altar is going to sit on the top, which isn't bad, but it's also fairly wide. And yeah. Anyway, tier 2 blood altar is just our blood altar surrounded by runes. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do that. So we need something for the center. It doesn't really matter what, it seems. I don't necessarily want to use cobble though. That wouldn't look nice. Do I have any? Sure, scoria will be fine. And then we're going to set up our runes around this guy. 1, 2, 3. And it gave us 2 speed runes, which is nice. And then we set our altar on top. Bam. And there is our blood altar. And it should be a tier 2. Though we do not have the ability to see that just yet. And I'm going to go ahead and... I was trying to make this look nice by putting it all underground, but we're just going to move this up top. I don't have any polished blackstone, do I? We were trying, but at this point, it's too cumbersome to have to continuously keep moving this stuff. So it is what it is. So let's set up our modular routers. I don't know which one was which, but we can set one up there and one up there. This blackstone drives me nuts. It's hard to see where one line ends and one begins. Okay, so you are the polar and then the sender. And then you are going to send to... Not there. You are going to send to here now. And then you are going to pull from here. And you are going to pull only blank slates. Now, the problem that's going to come from doing this is that we need to get higher tier slates, and this is going to try and pull the blank slates from this. So we need to be able to shut that off. So we're going to have to go give it a redstone signal or something to turn it off, depending on the craft that we are doing. Yeah, actually automating this thing is going to be kind of a pain. You need redstone mode high. So let's go ahead and throw one of our blank slates in here. And that should get us an imbued slate. And this is tier 2, so it should work. At least I'm pretty sure this is tier 2. Hey, it's tier 2. We know it worked because we got a reinforced slate. So cool. Tier 2 complete. So our next step on this is to make a dagger of sacrifice. Instead of stabbing yourself, what you can do is stab mobs. If you make the dagger of sacrifice, which is just an iron sword inside of here, and we'll do it for the quest, but we really don't need to necessarily do this because we have, you know, the ability to stab ourselves and get regeneration, so we don't have to do anything. But What the Dagger of Sacrifice does is instant kills any mobs that are in the area within the altar, and it takes their life essence and puts it into the altar. So if you can find a way like that mob duplicator that we had set up, you can have the wither skeletons spawn in and you can just smack them and their LP will go into here and you instantly kill them and you don't have to, stab yourself. But like I said, we have regen 6, so it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah. Our next step is going to be to get 16 blank runes and 4 glowstones to get up to the next tier. Further augmenting the blood altar will require a trip to the nether to gather some glowstone. Technically, this structure will accept sea lanterns too, but the trip into the nether for other materials may be useful. See the Sanguine Scientium for a guide on how to build the tier 3 altar. I did make enough runes to get us to 16 more blank slates, so we theoretically could get ourselves up to a tier 3. Yeah, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just need more stone. Because it keeps using our andesite, because andesite is ore dictionaried. How many do I have? 3. Okay, so there's 16 blank runes. And then 4 blocks of glowstone. And that is enough for our tier 3 altar. It's going to give us 4 runes of sacrifice. So the next tier altar is going to expand upon this, and it's going to go out this way. So if we get our book out, we can visualize this and set it up like here, which worked. Give me my book back, but and then basically we need to put runes in all of these spots here. Which is hard to see. Yeah, okay. So we can take our blank runes, which it gave us 4 runes of sacrifice. So let's put, 1 there, 1 there, there, and there. So at least those look semi like they belong. Okay, there's those. This can be any block, so it doesn't really matter. So we can just use our polished black stone again to pillar up. And then, are you already here? Yes. And then just our glowstone on top. 2, 3, 4. And it's wanting us to put specific stone here, which is why the quest isn't done, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 and 3 is 11, and 33 and 8 is 41. So that is why it's saying that we are not complete, but we are. So this should be a tier 3, and we can verify that by taking our reinforced slate and putting it into our altar, and then getting ready to stab ourselves. And if this turns into the next level slate, then we know we built this correctly. And there we go. We definitely built it correctly because we now have an imbued slate. So sweet. All right, so what else do we have? We have a ritual diviner. The ritual diviner is crucial to the construction and use of rituals, which is going to require us to make all of these inscriptions. Rituals are, rituals. They do things in the world. For example, there's like a ritual of lava, which will just generate lava out of nowhere. Pretty cool. You can have an infinite lava source in your base once you get to this point. You can also, if we look through the book, we'll see that. It's like, let's go to rituals. Getting started. This doesn't tell me what rituals there are. Let's go here. Rituals. So like ritual of the full spring generates water. Generates a source of water from the master ritual stone. So you place the water runes around your master ritual stone, you'll get infinite water up the top. There is the ritual of the Green Grove, which is an awesome ritual. Basically, it grows crops within its area, and it's pretty quick. There is ritual of the like magnetism. Oh, the lava sigil. You can just generate a source block of lava wherever you are, just for 1,000 LP is all it costs. And you just boop, you get lava right out of there, which would be handy because we have had the need for lava in the past and not been able to, or we have to run back and forth to our refined storage and everything. So yeah, anyway, that's the end of this episode. We have upgraded finally to a tier 3 altar, which I think looks pretty awesome. Tier 4 is going to require us to go down one more block, which is going to be this level. So we will see if we end up probably burying that, to be honest. After we build it, we'll just place Blackstone back on top. So we're not going to see tier 4, and tier 5 is not even implemented in the pack yet. So we don't have to worry about it so much. So yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next one.